Hey, everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Now, that's the way to open up a game on defense. Back-to-back sacks. We know that someone's come to play today.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So they couldn't get anything there, Charles. Now 4th down from their own 2, and a bad... Well, have to get it out quickly. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Wow, evasive. He's got daylight. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 69 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And we can say hello to the new NFL rushing king as he has just passed Emmitt Smith's mark of over 18,000 yards. What a privilege to witness this here.
Oh, Brandon, this is terrific. We're here. We get to see it live. We get to call it and see a new king emerge. A fantastic day, a tip of the cap, and congratulations.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 8 carries, 64 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there at 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone can go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. 1 quarter down here on a frigid December night. It's a close game here early on. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here. Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one.
It's a foot race. 30, 10, and he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Room to run past midfield. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I can't help but laugh. And the only reason is anytime the backup breaks a big one like that, he's going to be hard to deal with in film, wanting to know why he's not getting starters carries.
That's what he's thinking. Great carry there. he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Oh, yeah!
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll drop the throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now back to throw. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
looking to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Stays on his feet. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Now let's go. Green 39.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Can this Vikings D hold up one more time? 3rd and goal.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side.
Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. So we hit halftime with our bid. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the 2nd half. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here we go. What? None.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And an alley to run. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 79 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Well, this first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Now a toss coming right side. It's Manning, and he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way, because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Handoff looking right. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain. His guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses, It's understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
But how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 40. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 15. A big play there on 3rd and 8. 47 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching, and he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And Detroit getting set to go now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. Yeah, they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried. But
and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
there's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No,
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Twisting away. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Back to throw now on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. look to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll look to throw here, and this is going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. 46 yards. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my family?
Oh, this is blocked. And the defense has it, but he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. Before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it was really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spent a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. This is intercepted. Picked off near the 42 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Here we go. Grand 38.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Into the secondary again. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So here come the Lions now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Let's go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
The Lions on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go now. Blue, 90.
They'll set up a throw. And it's caught off the deflection. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now they got to get to the line quickly. He'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This throw caught right around the 6. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll get a few extra days to... you